So if you're trying to keep up with the South Florida real estate market, your head is probably spinning, right? One day you read a headline that says the market's crashing, and the next you see developers are betting huge on the future. So what is actually going on? Okay, let's dive in and really sort out the facts from all that noise. It all kind of starts with statements like this one. In a recent report, Reventure Consulting made this really dramatic declaration, and it sent a shockwave through the market. A flip. I mean, that sounds pretty serious, but what does that even mean in the real world? Well, it means this. A 44% year-over-year surge in the number of homes for sale. And get this, that's just in Miami-Dade County alone. This isn't some small adjustment. It's a flat-out explosion of inventory. All of a sudden, for the first time in what feels like forever, buyers actually have choices. And that is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Is this the beginning of some big crash, or is there something else happening just beneath the surface? To figure that out, we've got to look at both sides of the coin, starting with the case for a major market correction. Okay, so let's call this first side of the argument the big chill. This is all the evidence that red-hot post-pandemic market has, well, hit a wall of ice. And honestly, the data is pretty compelling. And this inventory surge isn't just in one spot. Nope. It's happening across the entire region. You've got Miami-Dade leading the pack with that 44% jump. But look, Broward is right behind at 37%, and Palm Beach is up 23%. This is a region-wide phenomenon. So while the number of homes for sale is skyrocketing, the number of people actually buying is, well, plummeting. In Palm Beach and Broward counties, sales have dropped by a staggering 25%. And you know, with supply going way up and demand going way down, basic economics tells you exactly what happens next. Exactly. Things slow down a lot. Statewide, the median number of days a home just sits on the market has jumped by 15 days. Think about that. That's 2 extra weeks of waiting, of hoping, and maybe of cutting the price. That crazy urgency that defined the last few years, yeah, it's pretty much gone. And the result of all that? According to Redfin, statewide median prices are now officially down year over year. Now look, it's a modest drop, just 1.3%, but it represents a really critical turning point. The era of just assuming your home's value would go up is, for now, over. Okay, so the case for the big chill seems pretty airtight, doesn't it? You've got surging inventory, falling sales, prices starting to dip. So logically, you'd expect developers to just slam the brakes on any new projects. But are they? And this is where the whole story gets so fascinating and complicated, because far from running for the exits, developers seem to be doubling down. There is an incredible amount of long-term confidence being shown in the very same market that looks so shaky in the short term. And just look at the diversity here. This isn't just one type of building. We're seeing proposals for a massive 337-unit affordable housing tower in Overtown, a 30-unit rental complex out in the suburbs, affordable senior housing in Hollywood, urban infill projects in Little Havana, and even a 91-unit luxury building way up in Lake Worth Beach. This is broad-based investment. It's hitting every demographic and every price point. Okay, so developers still believe. That's clear. But building new homes is one thing. You still need people to actually buy them, right? In a cooling market, where on earth would new demand come from? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. How about a 50% spike in web traffic from New York City looking at South Florida property listings? Yeah, that happened in just 1 week. And it was triggered by a single political event, the primary win of a progressive candidate up in New York. This shows you how events completely outside of our local market can create a whole new wave of buyers. A Fox Business report noted that high net worth individuals are, once again, seeing Florida as a safe haven from potential policy changes. It's this engine of demand that's totally separate from our local conditions. So, how do we make sense of these two completely opposite stories? You've got the big chill on one side, and then this powerful, almost unseen engine of development and migration on the other. The answer is they're both true. We're not looking at one market anymore. We're really looking at two. A forecast from the Miami Realtors Association just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you have the condo market. Sales are projected to fall almost 25%. Prices are expected to actually drop, and inventory is swelling to a 12-month surplus. But then look at the other side, single-family homes. Sales are falling, yeah, but way less dramatically, and prices are still expected to rise. It's a completely different picture. In this right here, this is what the experts call a market rebalancing. It's not a crash where everything falls off a cliff together. It's a much more complex shift, toward normalization. It creates these two different situations where some parts of the market, like condos, are getting hit hard, while others, like single-family homes, are proving to be much, much more resilient. Okay, so understanding what's happening right now is one thing. But what does this tale of two markets actually mean for the future? Where is South Florida real estate really headed in the next couple of years? Well, that same forecast that identified the two different markets also gives us a potential roadmap. And the key really is mortgage rates. They're expected to ease up a bit later this year and then keep falling through 2026. As that happens, homes become more affordable, and you can see single-family home sales are projected to rebound with some pretty solid growth in 2026. So the downturn is really being seen as cyclical, not permanent. So the most crucial point to take away from all of this is that South Florida's market isn't just flipping or crashing. It's becoming more intricate, more nuanced. Success right now really depends on understanding the specific submarket you're in, whether that's condos or single-family homes, luxury or affordable. Which leaves us with the final question. Depending on who you are, a buyer, a seller, an investor, is this rebalancing something you should be afraid of? Or, in all of its complexity and nuance, is it a market that's finally presenting a real opportunity for those who know exactly where to look?